Hello, I'm Stephen.
And I'm Tilda.
And welcome to the Orry Mill.
Yeah, welcome.
Lots happening this week. So we'll just crack on. I've been getting back into knitting.
Yeah, so today is all about you.
It tends to always be about me, to be fair. I do talk and take over.
Yeah.
And just talk about me. But then, you know, that's good, maybe.
Maybe not.
So Tilda's been teaching me to knit, as you know, if you've been watching our channel, and I'm making decent progress. I think I last knitted when I knitted a little bit in the summer, but really it was Easter. I was knitting a lot,
in Denmark.
In Denmark, yeah, and in Denmark I started this. Now this was me designing my own tank top, and you know I suppose it's pretty. I'm quite impressed with it, but a lot of it is because I've got Tilda to help. You know, and I think that if you're learning to knit yourself, I'm always impressed by people that learn to knit themselves from YouTube or videos. And you know, we started our yarn school.
Yeah, but I think still it's very valid. However, you learn to knit, you know.
Yeah.
So and yeah, you should be proud of yourself. You're doing really well.
So it's good. It's taking a long time. I think we're going to do another video on how long knitting takes and having that getting into that kind of zen moment. So I'm using you may recognise this. It's the felted tweed from Rowan.
Yeah.
And the Rowan felted tweed, we've just got a new delivery of that, haven't we?
Yeah.
And we got some nice new colours. Are these new colours? No.
No, these are not. These are some
examples.
This is a new colour.
So the felted tweed, I was looking at this today. It's effectively 50% felted wool, a felted merino, and then they've added alpaca, 20% alpaca, and then 20% viscose. So it's really easy to use. It feels really good, and it suits a lot of projects.
Yeah, and even crocheters love it. So knitting and crochet, really.
Yeah. So, but I wanted to change. So I'm enjoying knitting this, and over the past 2 days, my progress over the past 2 days has been actually probably from that pink line all the way to that pink line, and then that grey. So that's whatever that's like 8, 9, 10, 15, 16 rows or something.
Yeah, so this has become your tele knitting.
It's become a tele knitting, 16 rows on a 4mm circular needles, but I'm knitting it flat. You'd said, and I'm designing it, well, we're designing it ourselves.
Yeah.
So we're kind of working out how to get a nice tank top. It's going to take a long time. So I wanted to kind of sit and go, how do I get faster at knitting? And then I thought, do you know what I really want to do? I've been buying patterns and I wanted to start something else.
As you want to do when things take a long time.
Yeah, things take a long time. But then I didn't want to just come away from this project, but, you know.
I have to say, I tell my students in the classes that you should really have a tele knitting and a challenging knit on the go. So
I've been following this guy on Instagram, and he's pretty well known, Rastus Sue, and he's all over. You know, he's a really accomplished knitter.
Yeah.
He does these really geometric things, which I really like.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at that. That's going to take ages.
That is going to take some time, yes.
So
also, what I have, I actually have some people in the classes who I need to get to do something like this, because if they sit and knit just plain knitting, they end up getting a sore hand or something like that. So actually having something where you have variation in either colour work or cables or patterns actually gives you some sort of variation in the way you're holding your knitting, and so you don't get this repetitive strain injury.
Yeah, I think that's important, because I can feel that you've got to move and stretch when you're doing long periods of knitting. Yeah. So I was looking at Rastus's stuff, and I found one of his patterns on Ravelry, and it's maybe not in here because it's an older one. And it's basically so Ravelry. I don't really like Ravelry, to be honest. I find it a bit confusing.
It is. It's a huge website, and you need to know how to navigate it.
But it's also like usability is not its main concern. It's what its concern is categorising and cataloguing amateur and professional knitters, and everyone's the same.
But it has so many search options, so you can really nail it down which is
Yeah,
so I
maybe.
like it, and I can I'm getting quite good at navigating it, but I can see how overwhelming it can be.
And I think love knitting actually hook into Ravelry is my theory. But anyway, more of that another time. So Raz says this is Miller. This is a cowl. Now, okay, why I wanted to do this, because the challenge here is not cabling, but a kind of colour work with. It's a cowl which I actually want one for winter for going to work, because we're back in the office a few days a week, and this is really nice. It's a really nice fit. I like this kind of organic pattern, flower pattern, and then let's go up close. Oops, full screen. So. Yeah, I think it's knit. And he says in his pattern it's a beginner pattern, which I don't really believe. Where's my bag? So, printed it out here and we started looking at it. So we wanted to, the yarn he's talking about is a Blueface Leicester wool and BFL twist, Blueface Leicester twist DK dyed by Dells. Now this pattern is actually quite old, January 2022. Not that old, but old enough. Dells is now, dyed by Dells is now another famous couple of knitters and dyers called Les Garçons. And Les Garçons are these guys. They're in Montreal. And they dye, they have their own shop in Montreal. And they dye and they have some lovely yarn. There's a nice shop.
Yeah. And
they have their own patterns as well. Similar to Stephen West, I think, or a Stephen West vibe. Maybe? No?
No, not quite. They have more colour work. Stephen West is very much brioche knitting, which is this striped. Obviously, he has colour work as well, but there's a lot of.
So, yeah, I'm not going to buy these guys' yarn as nice as it is because we have our own yarn. But the question then becomes, what do we use? So, just going back to. So, I asked you, obviously. It's a DK or the American 8-ply. Is that American?
Well, I think it's actually more Australian.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, American, Australian.
And then the yarn needle sizes are 4s, 5s, and 6s, or 3.5mm, 3.75mm, which we don't have in UK. And
no, we have 3.75. It's in Denmark. You don't have 3.75.
All right, so 4mm, but most of the patterns in a 4mm.
Yeah.
And then the 3.5s and 3.75s are kind of for the finishing, so we can worry about that when we get to it.
Yeah.
But the key thing was 3 different colours. So you'd said to me, I said, well, what can I use? And you'd give me some options.
Yeah, so I brought out some of the new yarns we had, which was the Mode and Rowan.
Right, this is an alpaca. It's 100% alpaca, is it?
Alpaca
no, it's
wool,
50 wool, 50 alpaca, right.
So we couldn't really get the colours we wanted only in that, so we decided to maybe
add the pure West Yorkshire Spinners.
So I think it's actually a brown and a yellow they're using, but it looks quite orange and we quite like the orange. So we were actually thinking something like these colours, but
there's no, okay, but first of all, the thickness of the weight, there's no real calculation here. It's just DK is fine.
DK is fine.
DK.
Yeah, but it does, if you look at the pattern, it tells you exactly how many metres you're using.
Yeah, it does. It tells you the yardage. It says, or the meterage. So it's saying colour A, which is your main colour in this case, in his case, the green here is, you need 230, oops, I just found it again.
Oh.
223 metres.
Yeah.
And then for the colour B and C, it's 65 metres and 55 metres, respectively. So I need 3 colours, and the main colour is to be at least 223 metres.
Yeah.
And in the case of these, then
it would be 2 balls of that.
2 balls.
And 1 of each of these.
Yeah, so if I was going in the green, this is only 116 metres, 50 grams, so I need 2 balls of that. And I've got enough here.
Yeah.
But then we thought I didn't really want to do that, because the colours are a wee bit too, they're nice, but they're nice block colours, and I like block even colours.
Yeah.
But I wanted, for this camo scarf, I wanted a bit more interest. So you said, let's go felted tweed.
Yeah, because felted tweed has the colours, but you didn't want to do that.
Well, I'm
because-
doing a felted tweed project.
Yeah, and that's why we decided not to go for the felted tweed.
But again, the yardage in this is again different.
Yeah, you still need 2 and
Where's it
and
telling
1
me? It's
1.
not telling me.
It does tell you.
Oh, 175 metres from a 50-gram ball.
Yeah, so it's a lot of yarn on
So
a
it's
ball.
a lot of yarn. So, and these colours are much more, I think they would suit, that suits, much more suits what it's like with these flecks
Yeah.
picking out. So that would be quite nice. But it's still, as I say, I'm doing felted tweed right now. And I wanted to do just something else. So then we come up with the Moordale.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a really nice, these are skeins, and look at these, you might not be able to see this properly because it doesn't really work, but they're beautifully dark. This is a beautiful wool. It's got it's still soft, you could wear that next to your skin, but it's got a slight more of a bite. Maybe you might want a vest underneath, but
No, it's still very soft, this one here.
Yeah.
And it's actually because it's alpaca, so the hairiness you see there is actually the alpaca.
yeah, but this is 70% wool and 30% alpaca.
Yeah.
And then 100 gram skeins give you what did we say it was?
It's there up in this bit.
230 metres.
Yeah, so you've got plenty.
So there's absolutely plenty here. Now, it's quite an expensive wool, that's kind of why as well. You know, a ball.
It's worth it.
I think it is worth it. I think because the other thing about knitting is, and why I want to be very particular, is about knitting something that is a bit of a keepsake.
Yeah.
Or it is a bit of an art project. You know, it's, yeah, I think you should practice with cheap wool if you've got it and use up your scraps and all this kind of thing.
Yeah, we can debate that because actually it's better to buy a really good ball of wool and, well, not like a 20 or 30 quid ball of wool, but like a 10 ball. For if you're learning, the big wool is the absolute best one to learn to knit in.
Definitely. So, I like these colours, I think they're great. I think it's going to look really good. You can see it a bit better in that. The dust not showing up. But really kind of autumnal, late autumn, winter colours, I think.
Yeah.
So, casting on a lot of stitches, it's going to take me ages. But I think it's good. So, by the power of television, we're going to cast on the round, and we need to take, you were saying, you need to take these skeins and turn them into balls.
They're actually called hanks.
Oh, they're called hanks. What's a skein then?
A skein is... So yeah, most people call them skeins. However, this is actually skein.
Why is that a skein?
Because that is what the shape of the ball is. And a ball is actually a ball. So this one is a donut shape. That's not actually a ball. But we call these ones balls of wool and we call these ones skeins often. But actually that's a hank, that's a skein, that's a donut. And a ball is actually a ball.
Cool. Okay, so we have from our, not our skein, but from our
Hank,
hank, we have a ball.
yarn cake.
A yarn cake, sorry. And it's pretty good. It's quite a lot of yarn now, I realise, compared to a 50 gram.
Yeah, but there is actually...
Why is it out of focus? So, that's fine. So, then we noticed from the instructions for the Miller cowl by Rustus that he uses a... We noticed with the Miller cowl that he uses what he calls the using alternative long-tail cast-on method, which momentarily confused us, but I think as you pointed out, he means alternating
Yeah.
long-tail cast-on method. On YouTube, there's videos that say alternative, but yeah. So we're going to do one as well, because we're going to do one for our yarn school, because it looks really cool.
Yep, it's actually quite good for ribbing.
It's a knit one, purl one on your cast-on.
Yes.
And as you were saying, it makes it kind of stretchy.
Yes, it makes it stretchy. It's, yeah, and...
Okay, so let's go back to basics. Let's show us an alternating cast on.
So
Rastus says we need 63 stitches. So you've...
No.
192 stitches.
Yeah, so you're going to have loads on.
So what have you counted out there? You've got enough of a long tail.
Yeah, I have enough for like 200 stitches plus a little bit extra.
Okay, so you've measured out by wrapping with the needle.
Yeah, 20 times, and then I've just kind of...
To get about roughly 200.
Yeah.
You've done a simple...
so I did a slip knot here, and then you're using...
And is your slip knot your first stitch, though, in this case? Right, okay.
So
how is it alternating cast on different?
The way you do this is your normal long tail cast on, like the slingshot method. You go in here and you pick it out. So that's your knit. Right, and then you let go of your thumb and you do here. So when you're doing the purl stitch, you're going in and doing the same thing up your index finger, and then you now pick out the one that's on your thumb here, and then go back out and let that go, and then...
Okay, so we did a knit one. So let's do a knit first. Do the knit again.
So that was a knit and a purl, and now we need to do. So if you look at the pattern, I think it's a knit purl.
Is he saying repeat?
Yeah. So repeat the knit purl. So basically, I'll do 2.
Hold on a wee second. So he's saying, knit 1, purl 1, and then
knit purl.
Knit purl, or knit 2, purl 1.
Yeah.
So knit purl. I wanted to get the purl again. Okay, so you go.
Okay,
hold on.
so
Let's. What are you going to do now?
So now I'm going to do the 2 knit ones.
Right, let's
so
do
basically,
that. I can do that easily. So that's. Hold on. Right out of focus.
Yeah.
And go.
So knit, and then you do the purl.
Right, slowly, and see your fingers in the way here.
Yeah. So here I'm going in from here, and then I'm grabbing the yarn that sits over my thumb and bring that back out through that loop, let go, and tighten up.
Okay, so you're going to do another 2 knit.
So another 2 knit, 1 knit.
And do the purl again.
The purl, sorry, so in here, up here, and then I'm grabbing that yarn and out. So the purl is a little bit trickier than, so again your knit, and then your purl. Yeah, knit, and purl. Yeah, alternating cast on.
We've got 2 knit, 1 purl, 2 knit, 1 purl.
Yeah.
For 192.
Yeah.
And now we need to join it.
Yeah.
So I am aware of the, maybe not irony, just simply that I can do these complex, they're not complex, but these knits because you're doing it for me. It's not really me knitting. But I think you're going to teach me after. So for the purpose of the video, we're going to show Tilda did this really quickly, and then I will do it myself. Because I'd like to learn this purl cast on. But here's a good one. So we want to join this. We're making a cowl, so we want to join these 2 together. So what happens? Pattern says that it's PM to mark BOR.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Beginning, so place marker to mark beginning of round. So now we're going in and we need to join it in the round. So what we need to make sure is that we don't twist it. So if you have a lying round here, can you see that you have your kind of inside of your cast on edge sitting here?
Mm-hmm.
Right, so that you just make sure that's on the inside, and then you can start. Anyway, when we join up in the round, you have the needle where the yarn is attached to over on your right hand, and you have, the end where you started casting on over in your left hand. So you're basically doing your knit and we're just going to tighten that up. Right, so knit, do knit, purl here. Right, so that's it, kind of basically joined up.
That's it, basically joined. Why does it seem more complicated? Why in my head is it more complicated?
I think it's just because
you could knit in the flat without joining it, couldn't you?
Yeah, you would just turn it around and then you would go the other way around instead of joining it up.
Cool, okay. Brilliant. So, bit of a challenge, this one.
So yeah, this is you getting started. So now I'll leave it to you.
See how I got on with my Rastus Miller cowl. Thanks, Tilda.
I'm sure you'll be fine. Okay, bye. Bye.
Bye.